Tonight we are connecting you to Congress as Ohio Senator Jon Husted marks 1 year now in office. Governor Mike DeWine appointed him to the seat once held by now Vice President J.D. Vance. Late this afternoon, I talked with Husted one-on-one about this first year.
Well, remember, I got appointed, so I just kind of was dropped into Washington. I didn't have a phone or an email address, any staff, anything. I had to start from scratch. So we rallied quickly, got a great team pulled together. We've responded to 4,000 letters we've received this past year, had over 400 in-person meetings, just finished our 88 county telephone town hall process. So I've tried to do my job in Washington, but also trying to stay in touch with the people of Ohio. And but the biggest difference is, you know, you're dealing with people from all over the country, not just Ohio. So you got to find a way to manage all those different points of view. Let's just put it that way.
Your media team sent over to us a release that listed a number of your accomplishments over the last year. And one of the things you highlight is the passage of the Working Families Tax Cut Act and the fact that it prevented Ohio households from paying more in taxes. It protected small businesses and some reduction that they received. And it also raised the child care tax credit, among some other things. That act, though, did come with some criticisms, obviously. What do you say to the critics who still say it really didn't do enough for families, particularly low-income families, and it just does too much to the debt?
Well, it actually cuts the deficit, but I want to add a thing. I promised I would go fight for working families, and that's what we did in the Working Families Tax Cut Act.
Husted does face Democrat Sherrod Brown in the election this fall. Brown's campaign sent us a statement today criticizing Husted's voting record, saying in part, after dedicating his year to making life harder for working families and prioritizing his lobbyist donors, it's clear that Jon Husted does not care about Ohioans. I did ask Husted about several major issues making headlines these days, including ICE operations here in Columbus and the affordability of food, housing, and a lot more. You will hear what he had to say about all of that coming up new tonight at 6.
Tonight, we are connecting you to Congress. Jon Husted has now been in the Senate for 1 year.
And he was appointed by Governor Mike DeWine to fill Vice President J.D. Vance's seat. Mike McCarthy has a bit of insight on Husted's first year in office. What do you say, Mike?
So, Jessica and Rodney, Jon Husted busy over the last year, outlining what he sees today as his biggest accomplishments of the year, including the passage of tax cuts for families. But I also asked him about the tensions we are seeing here in Columbus and across the country involving ICE operations. We have seen several anti-ICE protests here in Columbus in recent weeks. And remember, last month there was Operation Buckeye, which Homeland Security says led to the arrest of more than 280 people across the state. However, the federal government has provided limited details on all those arrests. So I asked the senator if he thinks more transparency with all of this is needed. Do you think the administration would benefit from, or should they be saying in a more transparent way sooner, here's who we took into custody, here are the charges, here's the history, because there seems to be a lack of transparency when it comes to that.
I'm always for more transparency. Should have those facts, because and then we can. But everybody will have their day in court, essentially, to have these issues aired.
We also talked about the economy and the financial pressures you are probably feeling at home from things like inflation, the rising costs of food, paying for your housing, and more. Do you think that there is an affordability issue right now in Ohio? Is it a problem?
Well, look, it started under the Biden administration. Inflation was as high as 9% during the Biden years, and people's incomes just haven't caught up with that yet. We're doing much better. We've finally seen wage gains outpace inflation, but there's still a long way to go on that front. I think we've done a good job trying to lower energy costs by putting more supply out there for gasoline and oil and things like that. Those things are helpful.
Husted may only have a year on the job in the Senate, but he is already running for office again. He faces Democrat Sherrod Brown in the U.S. Senate race this fall. Brown's campaign sent us this statement today, saying in part, after dedicating his year to making life harder for working families and prioritizing his lobbyist donors, it's clear that Jon Husted does not care about Ohioans. Husted told me his focus for the campaign over the next year will be on working families and job creation. We are working to share more of our conversation on the ABC6 YouTube page. Look for it there soon. On your side, Mike McCarthy, ABC6 News.
Thanks for watching the ABC6 News YouTube channel.
Bringing you breaking news, stories, sports, and original content throughout Central Ohio.
Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out.
ABC6 News is on your side.